Going to do a video today. It's going to be top 10 running backs based on ADP. These are really the league winners that you're looking to draft, and I'm going to do it by round. So first one I have for you, Alvin Kamara. So from this perspective here, he was a top 5 running back when Jameis Winston was playing, and obviously that he had literally no help at all when it came to any other targets. They just consumed him every single game. He was averaging roughly 23 touches per game. When Jameis was playing, they've added a lot of, talent to that offense. And then also some like key stats. He didn't have quote unquote the greatest year, but still ended up with like 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. The biggest takeaway, he had like 46, 47 receptions. His prior couple of years, it was always 80 plus. So expect that value to go up there. Expect the touchdowns to increase as well. And, he's a workhorse back. I don't see anybody else who's coming to take his place. And really the only reason why he's getting drafted that low was obviously because of his legal troubles. So expect that ADP to slowly rise. But if you're drafting the next, week or so, definitely go out and get him. Number 2 on my list is going to be James Conner. He was a touchdown machine. He was great in Pittsburgh. But now the key fundamental differences with him versus last year is Chase Edmonds isn't there. He just signed a contract. Edmonds is gone. Not much attention, being focused on anybody else other than him. I expect him to receive more receiving duties this year, so he should be getting the ball a little more often. And he was also second when it came to goal line carries. So just something to think about there. I expect the touchdowns to regress a little bit, but he's getting drafted right around like the 31st overall. So definitely somebody who should be on your radar. Next is Cam Akers. Don't really have much to say. It's pretty obvious in this standpoint. I think he has the potential to be one of the greatest players, for this year. And a lot of that has to do with his talent. He was drafted as a first overall running back, obviously got hurt. But he's going later in drafts because he came back so early, was averaging like 2 yards per carry. And for some reason, I guess that's hurting his draft stock. But clearly he wasn't fully healthy. And he's also on the Rams. So, I think that's a bonus that he's going to be on one of the best teams in the league going into this season. And there's no Sonny Michel, a little bit less crowded backfield. And he should be able to, maximize his potential, especially given on the team that he's on. We're going on to number 4 here. Cam Akers, by the way, drafted around 42. This is my favorite player in out of this list, and that is Travis Etienne. He's getting drafted like 51st overall ADP. Definitely someone to target in your middle rounds. So, he has got a proven track record with Trevor Lawrence. He is hungry for the opportunity because obviously he came into last year, wasn't able to even play, had enough time to recover, and I think most importantly here, he's going to be the bell cow back because he is not going to be having to compete with James Robinson, at least for the beginning of the year. I don't really expect James Robinson to be relevant even, as he comes back and is healthy. I think Travis Etienne is just going to be clear-cut outright winner. Doubted James Robinson before. But as far as that goes, I expect a similar type Najee Harris, type season, production-wise, volume-wise, for Travis Etienne. So definitely someone to target in your middle rounds. A.J. Dillon is next on the list. He's going, I think, 62 overall. Last year ended up over 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns with all of the weapons that Aaron Rodgers had. Now they're going to transition probably to more of, a running back based team, just given the amount of weapons that Aaron Rodgers has. And I'm not just saying strictly running, but they're going to be catching out of the backfield, value for Aaron Jones. But from here, A.J. Dillon has proven every single chance he's gotten that he can make it happen. And last year, I mean, over 1,007 touchdowns. This year should do a little bit better than that. I expect him to catch a little bit more passes. And yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, the main thing to look at here, and you always hate to say it, but if Aaron Jones goes down, now you got a league winner. Next on the list is going to be Kareem Hunt. So from this perspective, we all know what Kareem Hunt does. He's widely efficient. I think averages over 4.5 yards per carry each and every season. But he's just getting drafted so late. I think it's 91st overall, and I think that was due to, his injury woes last season. But if Nick Chubb were to go down, or, he's guaranteed to probably miss a couple of games, that is a great plug and play as a running back one for that week, and he's just a good flex option overall. So to get him 90th overall ADP, I think he's somebody who, who knows what's going to happen injury-wise, but he's really somebody who you should be going after, especially if you have Nick Chubb as insurance. Moving on down the list, it's going to be Melvin Gordon, 95 overall. Last year, and listen to these stats, pretty crazy, but over 1K of total yards and 10 touchdowns. Yeah, you heard that. 10 touchdowns last year. Very quietly had a great year. And from there, I don't really expect much different. He's coming back. He's not super old, but this is the Javonte Williams show. I do believe that Javonte Williams is the more talented back, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to be able to get his carries that he needs to. I surely expect him to produce very equal to what he has this year, and he's still relevant. But I think it's a risk because it is a true committee, but the reward is potential, especially given the fact at this late in stage where you're targeting these running backs, someone goes down with injury, now they're the clear-cut RB1 and a top 10 finish for the rest of the season. Now, moving on, we got the Patriots running back, and it's not Damian Harris, Rashad Stevenson, or Ramon Stevenson, 600 yards, 5 touchdowns last year. Third highest grade running back, Pro Football Focus, as a rookie. Obviously got in the doghouse last year. Fumbles, blocking assignments were missed. That's what rookies do. Coming into the second year, I'm sure he's been trained a lot better, had a lot more time to be able to establish himself. And from here, he's a very talented running back. Typically Bill Belichick's running backs do very, very well. I think he produced a solid rookie outing given the limited playing time he had. Damian Harris, there's rumors that Stevenson can just go overtake the job as the bell cow back. Don't really pay attention too much to those, but I think he will outbeat him by the end of the year. But again, talking injury-wise, and that's what you unfortunately need to target when it comes to these late value draft picks is, if he were to go down, that's top 10, top 15 finish with his talent and the team that he's on and skill set. So definitely worth the ADP there. Next one I'm moving on to is Seattle running back Kenneth Walker, getting drafted around 102. And average draft position. Seattle's a running team. The person that he's competing against is Rashad Penny. So there's already a rumor that he's going to be seeing the bulk of the carries. Either way, though, Kenneth Walker was extremely dominant in college. And based on Rashad Penny's track record, I hope he holds up the entire season, but there's no way he's not missing a couple of games. Look for him to be a plug and play there. If Rashad goes down, then you got a full-time, at least RB2 on your hands. Last one is Dameon Pierce for the Texans, rookie. There's rumors that he's competing for the starting job. There's Rex Burkhead, there's Marlon Mack, and I at least in the beginning of the season, don't really see the opportunities there. He's more of a second, half of the season type running back. So if you can hold on to him or maybe even as a trade target, I think he would be, a very good asset to have on your team. He's getting drafted late round 123. But like I said, he's more of a second half breakout candidate. And it's just encouraging to see, from his first preseason game, I think he racked up, it was 5 carries, like 49 yards. Definitely think he's a late sleeper that's worth a draft pick. And that is everything there. There you have it. My, best value running backs based on ADP from, all the way from the second round all the way to the late flyers. Wasn't going to go into, the McCaffreys or anything like that. Everybody knows which players to draft there. But these are some guys that if you're, thinking about taking a receiver or, wanting to draft receiver heavy early, these are some guys you should definitely be targeting for potential breakout players and very well could win your league. Ryan, Fantasy Gurus, and look forward to my next video. Thank you.